All right. Well, here we go. Video blog number 4. So now I wanted to talk about a little bit about the cropping. Cropping, I find it to be one of the most important tools in photographer's arsenal. It completely can change the composition of the image. Entirely, I'm not quite sure that this is the best image to play around with, but since that's the one we were talking about, we might as well. So this is how I work as far as when I'm selecting crops. So usually, I keep the original as is. I create virtual copies and then I start playing with crops. Personally, our eyes are really trained to see the images in the same format as we were, because in the same format and the same format ratio that they were taken, because that's what we were looking at through the viewfinder. We were looking at the image in this very ratio. So I usually start by keeping it the aspect ratio original. I do use overlays and sometimes change them, just as a kind of compositional guide. This is definitely not something that a complete 100% set in stone rule. I can go either way, but it sometimes gives me a little bit of, it allows me to play a little bit, to see like, should I bring it out to more of a golden ratio or not, as in this case specifically. And I'm not necessarily, and yeah, I play with it here, but really looking at it right here, once again, like what I was talking about when I was messing with it, different analysis, is that it's I find it very important to see the image from kind of slightly from afar, which is what this is. It's basically just you're looking at the image from a little bit of distance. So even though I'm messing with it here, I'm actually examining it right over here. It's not bad. So I'm gonna make this kind of the golden ratio crop. Let's make another one, and then I'm gonna slide maybe wider, vice versa. Change it. Well, let's make it really tight. It's getting a little too tight for me. Let's an 8:10 ratio. 8:10 ratio is the maximum ratio, vertical ratio currently allowed by Instagram. I sincerely hope they change this ridiculous rule. But nonetheless, for now, sometimes I do like to make an 8:10 crop version when possible. It simply allows me to post it on Instagram without adding white or black borders to an image. So if I can make a good convincing 8:10 ratio version, I usually do. I virtually never do other versions. So square format, like I'm just not the square format guy. I never understood it. It's just not me, so I usually do not do that. There is more probability for me to go even more vertical, so to go like 16:9 or something, which I do have. Say like 16:7, 16:8, 16:8.5. Those are probably more possible custom ratio options that I have. And of course, you can completely just abandon it all and start messing with it freehand. So let me make another one, and just unlock it and just start messing with it. Once again, I'm sliding it here, making little changes, but I'm looking at it over here. This is nice. I like this. I like showing a little bit of a neck here, but I don't want to violate the proportions too much. I want to show some of the forehead, maybe all of the forehead, more of the hair. Yeah, just kind of just playing around like this. Now, so now I have created 4 different crop versions of this image. And I'm gonna look at them all together on the same screen. So here they all are, and most importantly, I want to see what they look like on white. Why? Because the white is the background of Instagram and Facebook and virtually all other social medias. So I wanted to make sure that it's the background choice is important. Some images pop on white, some images disappear. I'm gonna see what it looks like on black, which is most important for my website. Now I'm looking at the comparison. I'm really not sold on this 8x10 version. It's really not working for me. So I'm just gonna delete it altogether. I'm not just gonna remove it. I mean, it's a virtual copy, so I can just delete it so that it doesn't bother me anymore. Now, I'm just examining it once again. This might be a little too tight for me, but it's not bad, so I'll just remove it for now. But really, this is the two options that I'm picking from. And now I'm leaning towards the left one. And my logic here is the fact that I can see her hair a little better here. So she's kind of framed by her hair, while here we don't see the second hair. So it's there's less of a little bit of a frame, and that just kind of just face that just keeps going to eternity. So it's just like kind of a little bit too much of a face. While here, because we see the hair on both sides, which create a nice little frame here, I'm kind of pretty happy with this one. So that's kind of the very original crop that we're working with. Let me see how it looks on black. Not bad. Let's see if I need to modify it even a little bit. I'll make yet another copy. Tweak it a little more, but without, but keeping the hair in mind. Now I'm a little bothered by this little corner there, because it's white and it's lighter than the rest of the face. So I don't want it to attract more attention than the eyes. The eye, I mean the catch light, I want to be the lightest thing in the shot. But we still see the hair. Kind of slightly imperfect golden ratio. So right here, but there's still a little bit too light there. And so I might just add a little bit of gray. Just remove the highlights, darken the highlights a little bit, just in that corner, just a little bit. A happy little shadow. There we go, like that. This way, just not in my face. All right, this is it. I think the final crop has been chosen, and this is the image that I'm gonna post. One of this and just in the next few hours or in the next couple of days. So this is the image that you'll see pop up somewhere. There's a chance that I sometimes modify a few things right before I post if I notice something at the last minute, but most of the time I simply do not have time for that. So this is good. Once again, we did have I did have a stunning model to start with. Really didn't need to do much in post at all. Sometimes it's a little more, but this is, I didn't want to start with a very deep elaborate post-process tutorial. So this is more just a little series of posts showing you my behind the scenes post-process and the way I think out loud and what I'm thinking and what I'm doing. And I probably will continue doing that in the future if I'll feel like I have an image that is different, or that will allow me to talk about something else, or how to change something different, then I probably will do that. All right, thank you for listening, and feel free to ask any questions in the comments below. Thank you.